Hi, Paul Godden from BusinessSuccessChannel.tv here, and today I'm interviewing Rashid Kotwal from Revealed Resources. And what I wanted to ask Rashid is a question that I think faces all of us in small business, small to medium business, and that is that we're one of a crowd and we're quite invisible, and so it's really about how do we get visibility. And so that's the question I wanted to pose to you, Rashid, because I know for myself, it's about how do I get that visibility, out there.
Yeah, it's a very good question, Paul, because one of the things that we've seen in the 8 years of being in business is that we can be as good as we are, but if no one knows who we are, we might as well not exist. And it's a major issue, because unlike large organizations where they have huge budgets to spend on advertising, on TV and radio and print, small businesses don't have that.
No.
So one of the things that we found is with the advent of the net, it's opened up huge possibilities for getting the message out there very, very cheaply. I'm not saying free, but certainly very, very cheaply.
Okay, but do you need to be an expert on the net? Like for myself, I understand what it is, but I really, is it difficult? And what sort of things can you do? What's possible on the net?
Look, like anything, it takes knowledge. And it does take expertise. I'm not going to fool you and say that it's all easy. It does take work. There's no free lunch, there's no magic pill here. And it does take time. However, with the right information, you can get your message out there. And the beauty of it is that the message will stay there forever. Once a web page is up, it's always up.
Right.
So one of the things that we do, and in fact we do a multitude of things, is we do TV interviews like this one. We put it up onto some of the TV channels like YouTube and Google, where it will stay forever, and people coming along will search for what it is you have to offer, and of course your TV video slot comes up. We use radio as in podcasts, so therefore you record something like a seminar or a talk and put it up, and it stays there forever, and it then gets sent out to all sorts of, hundreds, potentially thousands, potentially millions of people who are interested in your topic. They can download it to their iPod or their MP3. You can write articles, which basically go into the various article directories, of which there are thousands. So when someone searches for something on your particular topic, up comes your article with, of course, a link back to your webpage for more information. The beauty of the net is that it's all persistent. Once it's there, it is there. And then, of course, there are all the other bits like social bookmarking, social media, where in the old days, well, most businesses are used to going out and networking, where you go to a physical event and you meet people. Well, in the online world, networking is virtual, and you can actually network with potentially thousands of people free.
Right. Okay. So would I be right in assuming that in having this presence in the different things, some of the things that I don't fully understand that you spoke about, like podcasts, but I understand the concept, but even for someone like myself, if I'm across a number of these strategies, then that gives me the exposure, the 24/7 potential exposure to customers?
Well, the beauty of the net is that it never sleeps. It's 24/7. You can guarantee that every moment of the day somebody is there looking for something.
Somewhere in the world.
That's right. It's not like your shop or your business which you close, or in the evening, or whatever it is. The net is always there. And with the strategies that we teach people, you can actually get your message out to potentially thousands, millions of people.
All right. So does that still work for me as, say, a financial planner in North Sydney?
Absolutely. Because the beauty of the net also is that we can target the message so that people looking for financial planner in North Sydney will see an ad from you that only shows up if they happen to be looking for financial planner in North Sydney, or they happen to be in the greater Northern Sydney area. We might say that we don't want our stuff showing up to other people. We can actually control who sees it and when they see it. And that's the beauty of the net as well.
Wow.
Try doing that with a major newspaper.
Well, you can't.
You can't.
You can't. That's the shotgun approach.
Yeah.
Truly a shotgun approach, and you have no control, and the cost involved as well. And it's pretty much sit there and hope someone will ring. The phone will ring, and I've done that several times.
And it doesn't happen, does it? And if you do advertise in the traditional media, and there's nothing wrong with advertising in the traditional media, understand that it's a one-shot approach. The ad appears, and then it goes. And if your ad isn't in every edition of whatever that media is, the next time somebody comes along and they open that media of that newspaper and you're not in there, they won't find you. Whereas on the net, you put it up and it's there forever.
Beautiful. And in terms of cost, like, is the net You know, is it very expensive to do, you know, all these strategies that you're talking about?
Expense is always relative. What does a Yellow Pages ad cost?
Well, thousands, tens of thousands.
Yeah, tens of thousands.
Yeah.
You know, a half-page Yellow Pages ad is going to cost you at least $8,000 to $10,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A full-page ad maybe $20,000. You know, the costs vary, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get any business.
No.
With the net, for that sort of money, we can have a persistent presence that basically fans out literally over the net and creates this web that people just come in, and that's the beauty.
Okay, and I heard you mention too about the strategies about being effective with like the emotional direct response marketing. I think you used the term.
Yep. Well, we use emotional direct response marketing to be able to target exactly the person that we want to target out there in cyberspace.
Right.
We don't want to throw out a net and get people who aren't interested in our product or service or don't want to spend the money. We're very conscious of the fact that we want to get a very specific marketplace that wants our service, wants to spend money on us, and we have the ability to build up credibility and trust with that marketplace using video, using articles, using audio, using a whole bunch of community building strategies where we can actually interact with people on the web even though we're sitting in the comfort of our own home. And that's fantastic, isn't it?
It is. So I would take from that you can actually measure the cost of getting a prospect or a customer.
We can absolutely measure the cost of getting a prospect or a customer. We know exactly where the prospect came from. We can track as they move down the marketing funnel to becoming a customer. We can track how many times they bought. We can track every last action that they take. And the best part is we can test and retest different offers, different sales pages, different advertisements, constantly on the fly.
Of course, I guess it's instant.
It's instant.
It's instant, yeah. As opposed to if I want to put an ad in the newspaper, I've got to book it for 2 days in advance or a day in advance. I wait till it goes out and then wait and measure it maybe over a time period of how many calls I might have got and did it actually come from that ad unless I put in codes and so on.
And then you've got to rely on your staff to tell you whether to ask the right questions if they take the phone call. With the net, it's all automated.
And of course then if I want to change that ad and test and measure, I think is the phrase, then I would have to do that all over again.
Absolutely.
X days later.
Absolutely.
Go through the whole process. Whereas the net, you could change it today, change it tomorrow, change it the next day, and measure those changes.
And the best part is we have software that will automate that whole process for you.
Wow.
So that's what you can do.
Fantastic. All right then. Well, Rashid, thank you for that time. I hope you gained some valuable information from that. And if people want some more information from you, how do they get in touch with you?
They can go to www.getclientsonlinefast.com or give me a call on Sydney 0294997958.
Fantastic. Rashid, thank you.
Paul.